everyone, welcome to another episode of Come Let Us Reason Together. I'm your host Yandea, and joining me, like always, is my co-host and brother, Duane.
Welcome back, everyone, to another great episode.
So on today's episode, and maybe a little bit different, I'm going to be sharing a recent dream/vision that I had, and I was actually sharing it with Duane before recording, and he was like, you know what, we should just record this conversation. And so here we are, reasoning live and direct, right?
Yeah.
So what I was sharing is that, as most of you know, if you have actually watched any of my other videos, even I think we've mentioned it on some of these podcast sessions about NDE, near-death experience, or as I like to call it, closer to life experience, that I had on January 15th and 16th, two experiences, January 15th and 16th, 2024, so last year. In this experience, this specific part of the experience was when I was having my life review, and I always explain it as seeing, like frames of light. Frames of light going in front of me, almost like how a dealer would deal cards. I saw it like, my early childhood was in, a few frames, and then all the way up to the present day. So just different frames, just like think of an outline, like a picture frame. Think of a picture frame, and then the image on it was also made of light. And the place I was in was, all darkness. I was light, and the frames were light, and the images in the frame was also light, and it was just a whole bunch of frames coming in front of me. Anyways, so this when I got up earlier this rising, or some of you say this morning, which is fine, whatever. When I got up earlier today, I was just still like in a state, right? I had one dream, which led to another dream, which led to something else, but I was in that like sleep awake state. And in one of the dreams or visions, I don't know what to call it because I wasn't like fully sleeping, I saw written on a paper, time, image, action. And then when I looked at the word time, it's like it brought me right back to that place where I was standing when I had that closer to life experience, where I was seeing where I was experiencing my life review. And in that moment, I was understanding, what time actually is. And it's like the whole life review, it wasn't about the life review, it was about understanding what this like frame of light was. And as I was observing the frames of light, I heard the word canvas. Time, this is not time, this is a canvas. All of these are canvases. So, because in my mind, I literally thought, oh, this is like time. I was looking at time. I was like, no, this is canvases. And so I understood that Spirit wanted me to know I'm not supposed to be thinking of time the way that we've been taught time. That time, it's better understood, especially when it comes to trying to manifest, because this is what this channel is all about, manifesting your dream life and your highest self. So for those of us who are interested in that, understanding what time actually really is will help us to manifest at a greater, I don't want to use the word speed, but more deliberate, if you understand, what time actually is. So what I saw is like these frames were, it's like I had these frames, I had these canvases, and everything upon the canvas, it was like events that I chose to paint. It's like everything that I saw, it was like deliberate events that I chose to paint, if you understand what I mean. So it's not like these things were happening, like, because it's a life review, but as much as I saw all my life, there were only certain events on each of these things.
Right, you saw. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's almost like if you're reading a book or you're watching a movie, the movie
Mm-hmm.
is not going to give you every day of the person's life. It's giving
Yes.
you certain scenes, and
Yes.
you can fill in the blanks with what
Yes.
must have happened in between, those scenes.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that's what I was understanding. It's like the frames that were chosen
Mm-hmm.
there were deliberate events, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I was the one who painted the events. And I didn't even know if we're gonna talk about all this, but I'm gonna expand more, but just sticking on
Mm-hmm.
time, it's like, if you now think of it like, okay, time is not a matter of 12 hours, 24 hours, night and day. Time is, I have this canvas. Let's say I have 20 canvases. What am I gonna paint on this canvas? Right? What am I gonna manifest on this canvas? And then after I manifest that event, that thing on this canvas, I have another canvas that I'm gonna manifest on. And then with all these canvases, I'm gonna paint an image, and the image is gonna be all one. And that's when I heard that word tapestry. That all of these canvases come together to make this tapestry. That don't think of time the way that we think of it, like hours and minutes. Time is a tapestry. And it's funny because right when we decided, when you came and said like we need to record this, it was when I was like, oh no, I was supposed to check up what that word tapestry tapestry
Yeah.
means,
Yes.
and and it basically says that tapestry is like a big, let me actually go to it. The definition of tapestry, because I actually have the definition of time up. It says time, the indefinite continued progress of existence and events in the past, present, and future, regarded as a whole. Regarded
That
as
is
a
interesting
whole.
that it
Yeah, I
said
didn't think that
regarded
would be
as a
yeah, I
whole.
didn't think that, because you know what? I put up the definition of that, and then we said, okay, so I didn't even read that. And then it says a point of time as measured in hours and minutes past midday or noon. Right? Okay, so let me read the definition for time again. The indefinite continued progress of existence and events in the past, present, and future regarded as a whole. Okay, let me get tapestry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting that indefinite is one of the conditions of the definition. Like,
Yeah. Okay, so for tapestry, right?
Tapestry.
It says a heavy hand-woven reversible textile used for hangings, curtains, and upholstery, and characterized by complicated pictorial designs. A strong cloth with colored threads woven into it to create a picture or design, usually hung on a wall or used to cover furniture. A form of textile art traditionally woven by hand on a loom. Normally, it is used to create images rather than patterns. A heavy cloth woven by hand or machinery with decorative designs and pictures. Okay, so basically it's a cloth. So looking at how I
Always
was
woven by hand or
always
sometimes
woven,
on a machine, but
yes. And it's to depict, to have pictures on it.
image.
It's going to be hung, images, complicated images even.
Yes.
And so the whole idea that I was given is like, when I saw, and I don't know if you remember, Duane, but remember I said like when I did see the different frames of my life, there was a feeling that I had, which was, oh, all of this is good. All of this is good. And then all of a sudden, it all came together and then just kind of disappeared.
Yes.
And I was like, whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen. And it was supposed to be weighed. And my first thought was like, oh, it's probably because I did all of this by spirit. you know? So I'm not gonna get any
Credit for it.
credit for it. But the thing about it is that we need to slow down for that moment right there. I feel it's something that I've often just skipped over because everybody just wants to hear about the other stuff. But it didn't have to. Remember, I said that was the place where things get weighed. And it just was nothing. There was nothing to weigh.
Yes.
There was nothing to weigh. And I said it's must be because Spirit did it. So it doesn't count as anything. And then I was thinking to myself, but that's great. That's a great thing, right? Because everything I saw on there, even with my own consciousness, I was like, oh, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Every frame was great.
Right.
And then it just went. It just went.
Right.
Right? When we think of Ma'at and we hear about, how people would go and they would get their hearts weighed against the feather.
Yeah. Feather.
So literally what that was showing, because I was like, oh, this is good, this is good. It didn't weigh anything. It was so light. It just...
Exactly. Wow.
Right? Yes.
That's a whole new way of seeing it.
Yes.
Never
exactly. Because I was like, hey, this never happened before.
Yeah.
So, and it was all because I had done all these things by Spirit. So it was all perfect. It was all done in love, right? And then the next thing that was being shown to me, and we're probably gonna talk about this specific thing another time, but I'm just gonna put it here too.
Yeah.
Is that we do not observe or get judged on the things that we didn't come here to do. Because you remember I said I realized I came to earth to love. It was very clear. I came here to love. The frames were made of light, and that's what I was shown in my next in the next event of my of the ND. I was shown what love was. The frames were made of light. I was shown that light is love, and light is truth, and light is life. All of these things, life, light, and love are one.
Yeah.
The frames were made of light, which means the frames were made of love, which means the frames were made of truth. Now, the pictures on the frames that I saw, which were all good, were all made of light. Everything was light, right?
Yes.
It was which means these images are true, these images are love, and these images are life. And they were all good. They all just came together, and that's it. Now, here's the thing. Let's go back to manifestation and looking at these frames, and why I'm saying we will not get judged. And when I say judge, like what gets reviewed is, did you do what you came to do? I came to love.
Yeah.
I came to love. So the only things that were recorded on there were my acts of love. That's it. That's all. Nothing else was on there. Only my acts of love.
Yes. Yeah.
You see? And that's all that's going to remain.
Yes.
Love is all that can ever pass all of that and end up in that end space. So what do we have time for? Why are we given the canvases? We're given the only, think of love as a paint. The only paint that will stand the test of time is love. The only the acts that you do that are in love will actually be able to be there at the end. Nothing else is gonna stay. Nothing else is gonna count. All that's gonna count is, how did you love?
Yes.
Did you give love? Did you receive love? What picture did you paint with love?
With love.
And all of our all of our acts of love, all of our, love designs, which are events, which are things that we go through, and situations that we create, and relationships that we have, and all of these experiences, these will be on the canvases. And then my canvases, your canvases, it's all cloth, right? My canvases, your canvases, other people's canvases, it all comes together to form this beautiful tapestry. So Most High ain't looking at tapestry as time.
Yes.
It's a beautiful, like, time how we think of it, like this is days and weeks.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
We're just here drawing. We're just here weaving. We're just here weaving with our breath, with our life, bro. With our life force. We are just weaving with each other, with situations, like I said, we're creating experiences. We're just weaving on. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, we are just weaving.
Yes.
Using our breath to just weave these different beautiful experiences that gets taken and added to the rest.
This
so
tapestry.
Yes. Yeah. We are like the needles of Most High.
Wow.
Just going through and pulling and creating. And so when we're thinking now of like, what's my little piece of time? You see what I mean? So think of it like this. Most High has this big eternity tapestry.
Yes.
This big cloth of eternity. And each of us get to be artists. You understand? Like, I feel so emotional saying this. Like, each of us get to be artists, doing our own little thing in our own little way. Like, my personality is not gonna do what your personality will do. My needle is different. My thread is different. I might have a blue thread. You have a green thread. Someone else has a yellow thread. And we're just doing our little piece. And I'm going along and you're crossing paths with me and I'm crossing paths with that person. Then me and that person knot up. And then me and that, you understand what I mean? And these two paths, so the color looks a new color. Like, all of this beautiful thing is happening.
Yes.
And we're calling it time. So think of this, like, okay, I need a paper. Okay, I have a little sticky note.
This is this eternal now that comes back to that. It's an eternal
now. So think of this, like, here's a paper. This is eternity. You're looking at it and saying, okay, we could see clearly, right? Eternity. All of this is eternity.
Yeah.
Now, we have a beginning. We might say, oh, it starts here and ends there. Most High isn't seeing that. Most High is just seeing, this is my paper.
Yeah.
Like, this is my paper. This is my tapestry. And then, Duane, you might have this part here, right? In your one life, your next life, you have that part, the next life, that part, the next life, that part, next life, next life. So we may look at it and be like, oh, past life, this life, that life. Most High is not in that. Most High is just like, yep, he's finished this corner of the tapestry. He's finished this corner. He's finished this corner. Oh, wonder what he's going to do down here. Wonder what these two are crossing paths. Like, that's literally how it is. So each of our little sections, like each of our days are like little itty bitty pieces that just all at the end, we give it. Here's my work. Here's what I've painted with this
masterpiece.
Life. Here's my part of it. And that's what when I said, like, oh, I looked and said, oh, good. And it just all, it was taken.
Yes.
It was just all gone. And then that part where I was like, oh, what about being a vegetarian? Doesn't that count? It's because that was something that I manifested that I thought would be love, but it wasn't.
It wasn't love.
So it wasn't love. So it wasn't
measured on.
Exactly. It wasn't. So it never showed up there.
Yes.
Because that's what I was saying. What about that? How come that's not there? How come that doesn't count? It's like, because look what you're saying. Like, that's not how you love. You know?
Wow.
And so what I'm saying is that let's bring it back to manifestation.
Yes.
If we are going to manifest, understand that we are here to make something beautiful. We are here to add something unique and different. That little splash of color, that little something, like, think of manifestation. Okay, this whole big thing, I have my one little part now on this canvas, right? I have my little section that they're going to be like, oh, who did that? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to manifest? In your little space of time, in your little piece of canvas that you have. You may have lots of frames. You see, you may have just one frame.
Right.
The thing about it is, You can spend your whole life living, so-called living, but at the end, you may only have one frame. Only one thing to add to because only love goes on that tapestry. It's eternal. Only love lasts. Only love can be in eternity because love is life and love is truth.
Yes.
That's all. That's what Most High is painting. All of our truth, all of the love, and all of the life.
Right.
That's all that's existing there.
Yes. Yes.
In the darkness, it's our life, truth, and love. It's our experiences. It's what the I am within us has accomplished, has come to know. And the thing about it is like, when I said like, oh, being a vegetarian, like that didn't mean anything. It's the one thing that I did that was not with spirit.
Yeah, exactly.
You see?
When
So,
you
like,
said that, you were like, that wasn't something that, this was a sacrifice.
I did this.
made.
I did
Yes.
this.
Yes.
Exactly. So now we have to realize the importance of integrating our higher self. We have to understand, like, only the things we do with our higher self, highest self, because that is our true self. That is the part of us that understands the mission, right? While I was here on earth, I thought I knew what love was, but it's not until I transcended this body and I was in my higher nature that I knew it. Oh, shit, I was supposed to do this here. You know, I had the mind. I had the right mind. I had all my memory. I had everything, right? And so, and from the time I came back, the mission was just integrate higher self. That's been the mission, and help others. Although I was saying it before, it's now I understood how to help others. So I'm saying, for those who, you know, are wanting to know how to manifest, if your heart is in the right place, this is not going to be any, forget about time, how long. That's not a matter of long. You're creating here. You're creating something that's going to last for eternity. And I often say, it's not about manifesting your dreams. You want to manifest your highest self dreams, the dreams of the highest self, because your dream that you have may be based on trauma, right? Like, oh, this bad thing happened to me, so now I want to manifest this thing. It's not even from your healed self, right? Like, a lot of people, they go through something in their childhood, and so now they desire to have a partner that's a certain way, just to be different. But then when as soon as they get healed, they don't want that partner anymore, because that partner was just a reflection of their pain and their hurt. So we want to manifest. We want to be the needle of Most High. You see what I'm saying? We want our physical presence to be the vessel or the tool that is in the hand of your higher self, that is in the hand of Most High, to just weave and be the one to go in the directions to create a beautiful picture. So when you're looking to manifest, do not manifest from the broken part of you. Do not manifest from the part of you that needs healing. Manifest from the whole part of you. And if you're not whole, that is perfect. Stop, pause. The only thing you should be manifesting is your wholeness. Don't try to manifest anything outside of you being healed and whole. And from that place now, centered and aligned with your highest self, you see you have your peace. What beautiful design. What do you want to add to eternity, you know, that will last forever? Don't waste your breath to manifest something that when you leave this plane and you have your life review, ain't nothing gonna show up for you. You're not having anything to add to eternity, nothing that's gonna last there forever. So we are all doing an amazing job. And the thing about it is that even people who you may think are evil people, they love who they want to love. And so you would be surprised to see that at the end of it, when you look at that tapestry, like, there might be a man who's selfish and evil towards everybody else, but there's one act of kindness that he does, or maybe he really loves his mother, or maybe he really or his daughter, and he is really doing right by that person. He's creating love there, and that love is able to expand and even grow, and you know, he has his own process. So It doesn't have to be big, it has to just be real. And from being real, it can grow and expand. So
Yeah.
everybody is adding to this tapestry of eternity, which is the eternal now. So, it's not about past, it's just about right now. What are you doing right now? We all have, everybody right now listening, you're present with me. So you have your canvas.
Yes.
What are you going to manifest?
What are you creating? Yeah.
Because if you have the mind and the heart to manifest something from love, it's done. It's complete. Do not look at it like, oh, how long is it taking me to manifest this thing? It's not about time. It's about you manifesting that thing. Because if you're in a rush to manifest it, you have to check yourself. There's something else involved there. That's not pure.
Yeah.
You want to manifest something, keep your heart in the right place. Yeah. I want to manifest an orphanage. Right? That comes to your heart, to your mind. I want to manifest an orphanage. That's it. Just focus on manifesting the orphanage. Yeah. You're not having something like, I want to manifest an orphanage and I want to manifest it now.
Yes. Exactly.
That the time should not be a thing in your mind. I manifest an orphanage. The orphanage, I already know that it's a great thing. I already know it's supported. I already know that Most High wants to see that.
Yes.
So now just be the needle. Just allow yourself to, it's already there. It's already there. So just allow yourself to go. Practice the art of allowing. Just allow yourself, knowing that this is a beautiful thing. Allow your higher self to just use you and move you, connect you to the right people, put you to stand in the right places, give you the ideas, you move on the ideas. Like, it's not, you don't have to put mental energy into it. You just have to know that it is and be in that. Seriously, like, you just have to already know this is part of the tapestry because it's love and because it's life and it's done. And you're just, this is your picture. That's what you're drawing. You just be drawing it until it's done. You know, just be doing it until it's done. Yeah. So I am like super excited. And again, like I said, I saw on the paper, time, image, action.
Yes.
Understand what time is.
Yeah.
Time is not minutes, hours, and days. Time is, here is the frame that you have.
Yes.
It's your piece. Yes. Here is your piece. Here is, and that piece could be your life.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm just like, this is fresh. Like I said, this is today, few hours. Just a few hours, and I'm still like meditating, you know, on it. So maybe I'll have more to share the more I meditate on it. But right now, this is like hot off the dome, hot off the press.
I love this so much because it's just, you know, it's painting such a very beautiful, powerful, different picture of manifestation for me than what I'm used to. You know what I mean? Like, I think when people talk about manifestation, yes, there's an element of giving to the world and there's an element of love, but it's more about like my dream life, like what's, you know what I mean? And it's all of that, but when you think of like, what are you trying to contribute like to the tapestry of life?
Yes.
Like when you think about it in that like place,
your
like,
contribution,
your canvas, your contribution, this is going to be your contribution to like the whole, to the beauty you know
of,
what I mean?
To the beauty of existence.
Of existence.
Yeah.
Then like you start to look at it very differently, and now it's not about certain things that you've been focusing on.
Exactly.
So much more than that, you know?
Yeah. And it makes you come into the correct, it makes you come into the right posture for meditation also. Like, it helps you to take on the right, to align with the right posture, which is, Most High, what do you want me to manifest? See? And you know, and when I say Most High, like, obviously you're here, you understand, like, I am the needle of Most High. I am in the hand of Most High. And where do you want, what's next for us? You see what I'm saying? Like, what's next? Like, where it takes all, and it takes, I think with manifestation, one of the big problems is that apart from people always wanting to know how to manifest now, which is definitely showing issues, right? But the thing about it is, because, and let me, I guess I have to say more on that. Anytime you want to manifest now, it means like, what are you running from?
Yes.
What is there in your present that you have not dealt with, that makes you, like, let's say for example, like you're poor and you want to manifest riches now. Well, there's something in the poverty that you haven't understood yet, because when you want to move away from the poverty, the energy you need within yourself to manifest real wealth, because you can have $1 million and still be poor. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who win the lotto, and right after they win the lotto, it's gone, right? So like there's a lesson in there is what I'm trying to say, which is why a person who's poor, if they manifest wealth now, they usually lose the wealth right away.
Yes.
Or very shortly, or they become even more poor in the sense that now they have characteristics of, even if they have it, they still have that energy of lack. So they can't share, they can't give. They're now hoarding because they're so afraid to be without money again. So it's like it brings, now it's the manifestation is materializing the state of their heart. You get what I'm saying? So before you thought they were just physically like without assets, you know, without, now that they have the riches, you get to see how poor they are.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because they are so stingy, they are so whatever. You're like, oh, you really are, you're poor. And they may not be aware of that they're poor just because they have some dollars.
Yeah.
Now, Most High is not interested in your soul not growing. Most High is interested in you evolving, in you actually having the attributes of Most High, like integrating into your higher self. So you may be poor, and the way to manifest riches is to create the richness within yourself.
Yes.
Remember, my channel is about manifesting your dream life and highest self. It's not one without the other. If you're able to manifest your higher self, you're going to manifest your dream life. If you manifest the dream life of higher self, it's only because higher self is there with part of it.
Yes.
So if you are poor and it's showing, you know, because you're projecting, it's showing in your life, then the question is, what inside of me is poor? What about me is poor? It may be a mindset, it may be a this, it may be a that. Okay, so now when you work on the thing within you, now you can manifest out there.
Yes.
And then when you manifest out there, because you're rich in here, and you're now rich out there, you only are just a wealthy person. You can be generous, you can this, you can that. You're truly not poor.
And then
sometimes
there's
a flow, because sometimes the process has to happen. You have to ask the questions. Okay, yes, I want to not be poor anymore, but Most High, if I'm still poor and I've been trying to not be poor, then why am I poor? What is it in here? Why am I poor? Something is in here. What is in here that is not right? What is blocked? What is this? What is that? That's why you have the time. You know, that's why you're still there. So sometimes when you're trying to manifest something and it's not happening, the question is, that time is actually a blessing. The time that thing is not happening is a blessing, because Most High wants you to be the thing you want to manifest. You want to manifest beauty, but Most High wants you to be beautiful.
Excellent. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the concern. So that's why I feel like sometimes when people want to manifest this now, it's like, what are you running from? What are you running from? What do you have to work on? Because if you had that thing dealt with, the thing you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to manifest would be there.
Very good. Yep.
You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at time different,
Mm-hmm.
and let's look at who we are in this manifestation thing as different too. If you are the needle of Most High, whatever comes to you to do, anything loving and beautiful, it's done. It's already done. You're like, oh shoot, I'm the needle. But if you're the needle, that means you're just the instrument being used to manifest this thing here. So you don't have to wonder or doubt or how is this gonna happen? How is that gonna happen? No, it's done. Who's moving that needle? Most High. Nothing's gonna stand in your way. Nothing's gonna not show up that needs to show up to create this picture. So you just have to be there.
Yeah.
You just have to be there. And when I say be there, I'm not talking about, this is the last thing I'm going to say because it came to my mind, I think. Sometimes people, when they're manifesting, they want to be like, I will be. There's a lot of will. And this is the whole thing with affirmations, right? Like you could be saying these affirmations like, I will be rich, I will be whatever. I will be famous, I will be. The more you say these things to affirm what you will be, you're actually speaking against yourself.
That's right.
Because you're affirming what you're affirming by saying, I will be this, you're affirming that you're not that.
Exactly.
You're affirming that you're not. Every time you say, I will be the richest person, I will be the most famous this, I will be a great singer, I will be a great mother, I will be. Every time you say, I will be, all you're affirming is that right now, in this present time, you're not that.
Correct. Exactly.
So what you have to say is, I am. And when you say I am, it means that you are coming in alignment with the highest. Because we all know the scripture most likely, right? Where Moses is speaking to the burning bush. And the voice says, he says, who should I say sends him? I'll tell him I am.
Yes.
Okay, so we could look at I am as God. You could look at I am as your highest self. But it is the part of you that delivers. It's the part of you that works miracles. It's the part of you that is the hand of God, that is the might of God, that is Most High, that is higher self. However you want to look at it, it's the part of you that gets shit done, for lack of better words. So when you say I am a great mother, you are putting your consciousness in alignment with the highest version of you.
Yes.
And you're saying, that's why I talk again so much about integrating with your highest self.
That's right.
Right? And when you say I am, if you really say I am, you have to feel it. You can't be, and that's the problem with even people who say I am affirmations. They're trying to convince themselves into it, right? I am this, I am that. For example, a great one is like weight loss. Like women who are overweight may be saying like, I am slim, I am fit, I am. Okay, well, the feeling of it. You have to bring yourself into the feeling of being a person who's healthy and a person who's slim and a person whose body is tight and nice and they're strong. You bring yourself, I am fit, I am. Okay, now you move on from after saying that. Let's say you say it to yourself in the morning. Now you're passing by the donuts, right? You're passing by a donut shop. If you really are in the I am, that person who feels tight, who feels healthy, who feels strong, she ain't craving no 12 donuts.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? You have to stay in the feeling of that person.
Yeah.
Neville Goddard calls it assuming the wish assumed. You have to assume that thing that you're wishing for, that you're desiring. Be in the feeling of it. And that really is what prayer is. If you ask for something, you have to ask knowing you've received it and not doubting. So you have to ask and make your prayer and supplication known with thanksgiving, which means whatever you're asking for it with thanks, meaning you've already received it. So you've already assumed whatever it is you're asking for. You see what I'm saying? So if you're a poor person, if you're a poor person and you're asking for riches, if you assume that you're rich, then that means if you're rich, you're also generous. That means if you're rich, you're not worried about money. And so understand how much your mind has to switch, because guarantee you there's certain things you're doing that only a person who's poor would do. There's a certain way that you're living that only a poor person would live that way. Decisions you're making, you get what I'm saying? But as soon as you assume that you are rich and you have the feeling of it, and you stay in that feeling of it and you walk around, it doesn't matter what you're wearing, your energy changes, everything changes. Now all of a sudden your whole countenance is different. Doesn't matter if you're not wearing designer clothes or whatever, but all of a sudden you're just like the person that someone wants to give the opportunity to, because there's a vibe about you. They feel like, I want this man working for me. I want this to be the person I give the promotion to. Like, something about you changes that opens up doors, and before you know it, because you have that mind, things just start moving, and you're no longer you're no longer in that situation. So
we definitely need to have a part 2 of this conversation, because it's so rich, and like, there's so much more to go into.
There's a lot to go into, but I just I love you guys, and yes, we definitely have to have a part 2, Duane. Let us reconnect next Wednesday at 7:30. If you have any questions, any comments, any other topics you'd like us to cover, please leave it below, and we will see you again. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Much love.